Okay, so I wanted to make a 5 months video because it's been 5 months since starting T, and I seem to have missed 4 months, so sorry about that. Sorry that it's been a little while. But I was actually looking back on my videos and listening to just, like, the voice changes and what I think to be physicality changes, who knows, has been really rewarding, and I'm really glad that I made this channel, because sometimes it's a pain to make the videos, but it's really cool to see the progress, so, yeah. I would say the top 3 to 4 changes that I've seen, and heard have definitely been voice. People now greet me by saying, like, "Oh my god, your voice," instead of, like, even just being like, "Oh hey, how are you?" Like, they just can't contain themselves over that. So, I'm loving it. I think it sounds really great, and it was probably the change I was looking forward to the most, because I feel like no matter what, if your voice is deep enough, and you present somewhat masculinely enough, you can usually pass if your voice sounds male. So it was kind of the change I was, like, relying on, for, I don't know, to pass as male, and I think that's happened. Speaking of which, I do pass as male now. A weird sentence that I never thought I would say. But I would say about maybe 40% of the time I pass. And I'm only judging, like, strangers' reactions. I don't count if I tell someone that my name is George and they read me as male, because I feel like that's kind of, it makes sense. Although, before starting T, I would tell people that my name was George and they still didn't call me male pronouns, so maybe that does count, I don't know. But to strangers, I would say I pass about 40% of the time, and it's really cool. It's just, it doesn't feel right yet, I guess, is what I would say. I still get confused when other people call me sir. I'm like, are you sure? And I don't know, it's a bit overwhelming, but in a great way. And I would say, I wouldn't say that I was less confident after coming out. I just was kind of over it. I wasn't like, I didn't become shy after I came out, but before I came out, I was very, like, I loved meeting new people, going to parties, I loved, like, going to events at school, and, like, meeting as many people as I could, and after I came out, I was just so sick of being misgendered that I just stopped doing that. It wasn't like I became, like, less of a people person, I was just frustrated and angry, so I just stopped. But now that I pass, I've started going places again. I've started, like, going to events that are geared towards meeting people. I love introducing myself. I, I'm, I don't know, really happy to be feeling like I can meet people and introduce myself again. It's pretty great. And then the last thing that I would say has changed significantly is my sexuality, which I talked about in that video that's titled, like, Asexuality in T or something like that. I don't identify as asexual anymore, but I also don't identify as sexual either. I I have no idea what I am, so I'm not going to try to put a label on it. But I have also noticed that the people that I'm attracted to are starting to be different types of people than I'm used to. Some girls as well, which is, like, kind of weirding me out. But, I mean, if that's the worst thing that happens to me on T, whatever. I still call myself gay because I really identify with that word in a way that goes beyond just the fact that I like men, so I still use that word, but I've noticed that I've started to find some women attractive, definitely not all of them, but every once in a while, I do, and different types of men I'm starting to find attractive, which is weird. as well as like just feeling like more of a sexual person and thinking thoughts that I would never find myself thinking before starting T, which has been actually probably the hardest thing to deal with because it's just something that's so new to me. Like I don't want to say I never thought a sexual thought before T, but it was pretty much that. Um, so that's been a little bit weird, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not too worried about it though, because I feel like I like who I like, and I'll, hit on who I want to hit on, and that's the end of that, really. But it's been interesting, I guess, trying to come to terms with it and trying to have an understanding of self with that kind of change, because it's confusing. But I would say those are pretty much the changes. I'm still waiting for the physicality. I feel like, yeah, I'll do this. I feel like I'm gonna stand up to show you like my whole body. Okay. Yeah, this is a bad angle. I feel like, I don't know, um, like my hips are like still in existence. I feel like I've heard a lot about trans guys who get like the V shape or the like at least the rectangle shape, and I feel like I don't have that yet, but who knows. And I'm kind of waiting for that. I'm also kind of waiting for the more angular looking face because I don't think that I have that. But as far as the voice goes, I'm loving it. So yeah, that's all for now. I'll make another video in about a month. See ya.